party and I don't listen to instructions. Ed Malbeck.
Good evening, my name is Doug Hutchison. I am the independent here this evening. Thank you. Thank you. What makes me so special? Nothing except I am one of you. I am one of the Tea Partiers. I woke up. I was in D.C. on 9/12 last year with, what was it, a couple hundred of us? Yeah, 3 million, I think was the university estimate. Like most of you, I'm waking up. I'm upset. And at 37 years old, myself and my kids are inheriting a mountain of debt, which is irresponsible. A generation has gone out, racked up the credit card, and they're dumping it on us. That ain't cool. Really, it's not. And we have to pay the bills. Not all the gray hairs, not my parents. They're going to be long gone, and they recognize it, and they're not happy about it either. They don't like the dishonor that's being pressed to the generations that are coming up. It's not honorable. So, like most of you, I'm waking up. I'm putting my hat in the ring because if not me, who, and if not now, when? There is nothing different about me. I'm like a lot of you people. I enlisted in the Navy, served here, like these two guys, we were all SEALs. Got married, my wife's over there, I have 3 daughters, and I'm willing to sacrifice a few years of my life to try to make a difference. It's that simple. Thank you.
Good evening, Patriots. Thank you for putting this together. It's always a pleasure to get in front of you. I'm Scott Taylor. I'm a former United States Navy SEAL. I'm an Iraq War veteran, and I'm a small business owner. I'm running for Congress because I feel compelled to do something about the direction of this great nation. Like many of you out there, probably all of you, I'm sick of the backroom deals. I'm tired of paying for bribes with our tax dollars. I'm upset with Washington and the current administration's method to fix the unemployment by hiring 17,000 IRS agents to collect from you when you don't pay for your unconstitutional mandated health insurance. Washington's not listening. We just had 1/6 of our government taken over. We have got to be proactive, not reactive, about the direction that Washington is taking us. Next on the agenda, immigration reform. It's not about compassion or humanity. It's going to be rushed in before the November elections to get those 15 to 30 million votes. If this happens, we're going to be a one-party country. We're not following the path of our Constitution. We're following the path of a socialist country, where they get the power of the votes. They get the power of the votes, then they nationalize companies, then they discredit or shut down the free press, and then eventually raise the term limits, extend the term limits for the president. Something has got to happen, and we need change, real change right now in Washington. Thank you. I look forward to answering all your questions on this business.
I'm Jessica Sandlin. I don't dare stand up because there's a drop-off next to me. And I am special. My birthday is 9/12. And I bring a fresh perspective and a fresh face. I'm a former independent. I've come to caucus with the Republicans, and I have brought a bunch of new people who otherwise might not be here, and I'm excited about that. I'm a former high school English teacher, a former homeschooler, a single parent to 5 children, and I'm here to represent you because I am you. I shop at Food Lion, I rush my children to the doctor at Oceana, I take them to music lessons, sports lessons, I do it all in my 8-year-old Toyota minivan, and I want to represent you in Congress come next year. Thank you.
This is what we get for having 8 candidates. We have to fall off the edge. Thanks. Good that I have my back here. All right. Next round of questions is another question with 90 seconds for everybody to respond. When we ask for questions from Tea Party members, we have several that asked about the 10th Amendment, which has been invoked recently on the state level in an attempt to curb the power of U.S. Congress over the states, specifically to resist Obamacare and the individual mandate. But I want to know what Congress is going to do to limit itself. So my question is, would you oppose the bill for no other reason than because it grants powers to the government that are not specifically authorized in the Constitution? And can you give an example of legislation that should be blocked for this reason? Either something that has been passed or something that has been proposed. We'll start with Mr. Wood.
Well, we've definitely come down a path that's taken this country into very dangerous roads. When Fidel Castro took over and instituted socialism, today my parents are sending down crushed vitamins and aspirins and whatever to help relatives down there because of the socialized health care through a communist regime. We cannot allow what's happened in too many countless countries around the world to happen here. This health care that's added upon right now, it's another huge layer of socialized medicine, taking over 1/5 of our GDP, is a dangerous path, and I would fight against that. Our and gaining, hopefully the majority in Congress, we need to pull back this health care bill that was forced upon the Americans. Even though 65% across the country did not agree with it, it was still put upon us because we have a representative republic. And the way we change that is through your election, through your vote, changing the individual, believing in the person that will stand up with the principles and beliefs through their whole upbringing and through their whole life that you can count on to do the right thing at the right time. And I'm that individual.
I'm Scott Ridgell, and our founding fathers put the 10th Amendment in there for a specific purpose because they understood that power, if not properly checked, would centralize right there in Washington. And I can give you a specific example. This healthcare legislation that was just passed, in my view, and specifically the portion that talks about the fees, which really are taxes that are going to be imposed on American citizens for the first time in our American history for just being alive. They're going to tax American citizens. In my view, and in the view of so many, and a good Attorney General of Virginia, Ken Cuccinelli, he is opposing that, and I firmly support his position. That's one of the reasons that I'm running for Congress, and the third leg, the third part of the stool that is supporting our campaign is true congressional reform. Things that candidates can do and incumbents can do, whether they're enacted into law or not, because I believe in the principle of leadership by example. That's how I've led my company, that's how I believe I've led my family, and that's how I would lead and serve you if you give me the privilege to serve you and your families in our United States Congress. Thank you.
I think that the 10th Amendment is perhaps one of the most important parts of our Constitution. And it's the last of the Bill of Rights. It stands for federalism. It reserves any powers that are not enumerated in the Constitution, whether in the main body or in any of the amendments, to the states or to individuals. And I think we've gone a long ways away from that. I think we need to pull it back so the federal government is put back in its box. I would mention, along with my colleagues here, health care, because it's all over the place. It affects everybody here. I think it's a constitutional mandate. But just for the sake of variety, I'm going to say something different. Education. There's nothing in the Constitution that gives the federal government any powers over education. State and local leaders are closest to the people. They realize exactly what sort of education we need. I think it's a huge priority, and we should leave it to the people who do it best. Thank you very much.
I'll get up also because it's more comfortable standing. Thanks. What's that? Ed Malbeck. Thanks, Scott. Rather than recite the Constitution again, back to healthcare. The healthcare reform, I have two major issues with healthcare reform. It's a fundamental encroachment on our rights, forcing us to buy healthcare, forcing